The Environmental Institute at the University of Virginia is a hub of interdisciplinary research, training, and partnerships that are focused on connecting our research with policy and practice.
The mission of the Institute is to build and support teams to solve some of the most vexing environmental problems that we face related to climate and environmental change. Many of the challenges that we face don't fit neatly into traditional academic disciplines, and so you might have a problem associated with stormwater that an environmental engineer might be able to tackle, but you might have a related problem about housing that you need urban planners or you need economists or environmental scientists to help solve.
About half the world's population lives along the coast, and so this is really a hotspot for climate risk and addressing climate mitigation and climate adaptation. So climate change is a global phenomenon, but the way people experience it is very local. So we need to make sure that our research is meeting the needs of those communities. The Climate Equity Project on Virginia's Eastern Shore is about addressing the disproportionate impact of climate on rural communities. We bring together researchers who study storm surge flooding, the salinization of groundwater, with those who think about how that impacts people. And we bring them together with community members to help identify what the priorities are and how our frontier research can address the needs of the community.
I'm a computational modeler, so I spend most of my time looking at a computer screen. And as part of the Institute and as part of this project, I develop eco-hydrological models for watersheds along the Eastern Shore of Virginia. So we take in land use data and we take in elevation data and among a couple other things. And with that, we can output variables like stream flow, depth to water table, nitrogen export, carbon storage, anything that people are interested in. What working with the Institute has really taught me is how to translate that computational modeling into actual policy and to see community members being excited. And because they're like, wow, I didn't know we could do this with the model, and they're excited to test out different scenarios.
So community-engaged, place-based research is really about co-production. It's about university researchers working with community members to address the climate-related needs in a particular region.
My experience in working with the University of Virginia Environmental Institute has been one of enriching my knowledge about environmental science and equity, climate, as well as learning more about what UVA does in their research. The Eastern Shore is home to not only the people, but also to the wildlife. It's very important to us because we want to see it not only to survive, but to thrive. And in order for our communities to thrive, we're going to have to look long-term at how we can best protect them. And that also means protecting our coastal waterways.
Having community members involved with combating climate change is super important because you need their buy-in. If community members aren't bought into the initiatives that come forth from climate research, then nothing's going to happen, nothing's going to change. You can do a million different things at the higher levels to try to affect change on the ground, but if you don't have the people that are living those experiences and living in those places bought in, then it's for nothing.
UVA Environmental Institute is proud to be a convener of this kind of interdisciplinary, community-based research. We convene people and train students and build partnerships in ways that really bring the value of our research at a university out into the real world.
Our efforts to scale the approaches and the techniques for building teams, for building relationships with communities is critical for being able to solve all of the different challenges. I think one of the interesting things that many people don't realize, because you live in your place and you might have some vulnerabilities associated with climate that you see, whether it's drought, high temperatures, sunny day flooding in coastal communities, whether it's other sorts of extreme weather, and the model that we're pioneering in terms of working with communities to identify solutions that has elements to it that can be replicated in other communities, even if the solutions themselves are going to be different.
Climate change is one of the most existential threats to society and to our future. I really think that this need is incredibly urgent, and that's why I'm excited about bringing the research out into communities who need the research. And I think in the end, it's about, real communities and real people, that climate change is real, but so are the solutions.